Hello everyone, it's good to have you all on board. It's another time with Tutor IO, the enthusiastic tutor, and in today's tutorial, it happens to be the continuation of the course PHL303, and it has been an interesting one so far. And from the thumbnail, we're going to be discussing correspondence theory. Okay, correspondence theory. For those of us who are new to the stream, let's ensure to subscribe to the channel. Let's ensure to also join the private class where we walk you through all your courses without leaving any of your course unattended to. How do you become a member of the private class? All you need to do is to reach out to us on our official website, which is www.tutor.io.net, and we'll be happy to have you on board. Find the WhatsApp button in the top right hand corner. Just send us a direct message on WhatsApp. I'll be happy to have you on board. This being said, let's hop straight into today's class. Okay. So we have correspondence theory. Correspondence theory. Now we'll talk about correspondence theory. What are we simply referring to? Okay, and why are we talking about it? Now, correspondence theory is one of the classical theories of truth. All right, it is one of the classical theory. All right. One of the classical theory of truth. Now, this theory asserts, this theory is of the opinion that truth is an argument between what is said or believed and facts. It is of the opinion, it asserts, that truth is an argument. Okay, an argument, I beg your pardon, that is an agreement, not argument. An agreement. Truth is an agreement between what is said, all right, or believed, all right, between what is said, between your belief and facts, all right. If you agree to a fact, then to you it is truth. All right? If you don't agree, then it's not. If you agree to a certain belief, then you can verify at any point in time, in as much as you believe it, it is a truth. All right? In as much as you consent to it, then that is a truth. All right? Uh, that is that. Now let's take a step further. According to Russell, these are facts. All right? According to Russell, Russell is of the opinion that there are facts external to us. When our belief corresponds with this fact, then truth is established. That is according to Russell. Russell is of the opinion that there are certain facts that we don't generate. We don't even know how come they arrive. But in as much as you believe in this fact, then it's a truth to you. All right? In as much as you believe this fact, then as far as you are concerned, the truth has been established. All right? So that's why it says that when we talk about the theory of correspondence theory of truth, we are simply referring to truth as the agreement between what is said or what you believe and a fact. Are we together? So we have that is that. Now, speaking of the coherent theory of truth now, the coherent theory of truth is the view that truth is a property exhibited by a group of consistent propositions. All right. When we say coherence, coherence, then we are talking about when facts, when statements agree with each other. All right. Then we are looking at this from the angle that the coherent theory of truth is of the opinion that truth is a property exhibited by a what? Related group of consistent, not inconsistent, consistent what? Proposition, consistent statements. If it is raining, if it is cloudy outside, then it's raining. If it's sunny outside, then it's hot. All right. So we have that as that. We have the pragmatic theory of truth. Pragmatic, more like practical. Due to the obvious weakness of both coherence and correspondence theory, the pragmatic theory veers from consistency of usefulness. All right. So, due to the shortcomings of the coherence and correspondence theory, pragmatic theory of truth. All right. The weakness of, all right, the weakness of the coherence and the correspondence theory versus the pragmatic theory of truth. It is believed that the truth of a belief depends on its outcome. Oh, if you believe that, okay, that was a thing from the service provider. I think it's we are live now. Okay. So just like as I was explaining earlier, the pragmatic is more on reality, is more on functionality, is more of usefulness. So if you say it is cloudy outside, it's about to rain or it's going to rain. So pragmatics of the opinion that if it's not raining yet, all right, then we can't say that because it's cloudy, all right, it's going to rain. We've seen cases whereby it's cloudy and all of a sudden, just became bright. All right, it became sunny. So the pragmatic is more of usefulness, practicality, and effectiveness. Miss Udeme came late, okay, but at least you are here. But you came pretty late. Now, let's take a step forward. Pragmatism, all right, pragmatism. Are we together? I think I need to adjust the camera. Uh-huh. So, pragmatism attempts to avoid the mistake. The what? The mistake of past theories by focusing on the results of claims. Are we together? It focuses more on the results than the forecasting or expectation. Now, do we get that? The pragmatism or all right, pragmatism is all about, is very intentional about avoiding all right, the mistake of past theories. Which, what are these past theories? We are speaking of the coherence and the correspondence theory of truth. All right, so the pragmatism is trying to, as much as, oh, wonderful. Sorry, just got our sticker. Thank you very much for that. So it's way, way, way intentional about avoiding the shortcomings. All right, the weakness of coherence and correspondence theory of truth. So now let's talk about the semantic. All right, semantic. As far as the semantic theory is concerned, the semantic theory, all right, says semantic theory, according to Alfred, Alfred adopts a method that claims and views truth as a property of sentence. This theory of truth is developed. The semantic theory of truth is developed. The semantic theory of truth is developed by Alfred. And Alfred here is of the opinion, Alfred is of the opinion that you can only say, all right, a truth is one if the property of the sentence of that truth, all right, are in check. Now, it adds that any satisfactory account of truth must meet certain conditions. Right? This is Alfred. Alfred said, before we can say this is, all right, verified as a truth or as truth, it must meet certain conditions. So let's find out what these conditions are. Are these conditions? One, material adequacy. There must be what? Material adequacy. There must also be formal correction conditions, as well as we have that as that. All right. Speaking of the material, it must be in line with the context, all right, at which the true value is being used. And the formality, it must be, all right, a truth, a sentence that observes certain rules, all right, certain rules which enhances the use of such sentences. Are we together? Just a moment. Okay. Now, we have the postmodernism and truth. Postmodernism and truth. When we talk about postmodern, what are we simply referring to? All right. Postmodernism is one of the most significant culture, philosophical, and artistic movements of our contemporary age. You know, when we say post, we're talking about after. When we say pre, we're talking about before. All right. Broad movements. So postmodernism is a movement that is traced that traces its origin to the mid 20th century across almost all fields of inquiry. Speaking of philosophy, art, architecture, and the likes. Now, it marks a departure, all right, from modernism. Now, what are we talking about here? Modernism is both a philosophical come art, all right, a philosophical come art movement, and was birthed during the Enlightenment of the late 19th and 20th century. Now, what are we talking about here? This is reflected, all right, in the desire for the creation of new forms of art, postmodernism. As a result of modernism, the hunger, the thirst for a new form of art, philosophy, and social organization, which was reflected in the emergence of the Industrial Revolution. Now, this postmodernism is as a result of the I don't want to use the repercussion, the result, the positive result of um, industrial, all right, revolution on inquiries, all right, like art, philosophy, architecture, and the likes. Are we together? So it's more like a positive movement, an improvement on what has existed. Are we together? So we have that as that. Now, let's take this. Let's talk about the concept of justification. External support. And the second is to offer internal support. All right. There must be a conviction within and there must be a conviction without. Okay. So we have a doubt. Very quickly, let's fallibilism. Please, for those of us who are new to the stream, let's ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. Let's ensure to smash the like button, and also let's ensure to join our private class where we walk you through all your questions without leaving any unattended to. How do you become a member? All you need to do is just to reach out to us on our official website, which is www.tutorial.net. Now, fallibilism is the view that no knowledge of truth can be justified or defined conclusively. All right? It recognizes human inadequacy in the area of cognition and perception of reality. Fallibilism have the same starting point like skeptics. You know what we talked about the skeptics? They don't just take everything like that. All right. If they come across a statement, they don't just take it hook, line, sink, act. No, they want to assume first that is not correct, or not until they do their own investigation and they do their own confirmation. Then yes, they can now verify that yes, this is valid. All right. Fallibilism have the same starting point like the skeptics, but they are nevertheless different. Right? They are different from each other. Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you for your glass. Awesome. Okay. Now, for skeptics or skepticism denies the possibility of knowledge based on human, all right, frailties, all right, based on human factors that we can make mistake. It is still, but it still affirms that we sometimes possess the ability to reason infallibility. All right. So what fallibilism is talking about here is that there's always a human factor. All right. It says no knowledge of truth can be justified. Conclusively. There's always room for, all right, a review. There's always room for an improvement. Now we have the nature of the mind. Okay, the nature, all right, nature of the mind. This week we are going to complete this course. This week we are going to conclude this course. I'm very sure we are going to complete, all right, and the next time we are meeting, we are on our course entirely. Now, speaking of the nature of the mind, we are all right. Speaking of the nature of the mind, we are talking about talking about exploration. Okay, the exploration of what the mind is, how it functions, and its relationship with the body and the external world. Now, philosophers pointed out that thinking can only establish the existence of oneself rather than the existence of other human beings. The problem of other minds in an offshoot of discrete mediation. All right. Now it says here that talking about the mind, all right, talking about the exploration of the mind, how it works, all right, and its relationship with the body and the environment. All right. Now, philosophers here are now of the opinion that when you think, all right, you can only establish the existence of yourself, not the existence of human beings, other human beings. All right. You don't think for people, you think for yourself, for your own existence. All right. This is what philosophers are about. Speaking of how the mind works. Now, then we need to take it a step further by saying the problem of other minds, all right, is an offshoot of discrete mediation, meaning to say that this is a dilemma, all right, and it arises from understanding of the mind, your consciousness, and other people. It concerns the difficulty of knowing whether other people have minds and experiences similar to your own, since you can never directly experience other people's thoughts. Are we together? They are feelings or sensations. So you only have access to your own mind, which makes the existence of other minds uncertain or difficult to prove. So we talked about the exploration of how the mind works. I will talk about offshoots of discrete mediation. All right. Under it, we'll be starting from reflection from our next class. Thank you very much, everyone. I think we were able to gain something to this class. Let's do it to keep our notes up to date, and I look forward to seeing you all in subsequent. Do have a wonderful evening, and bye for now.